recently, like within the last week, I kind of went on a whole little spiel informing people of what's called the Savannah River site, which is near my hometown. It's one of the five most important like nuclear I don't know to the full extent. You know, some facilities might enrich uranium. Others might make the, I don't know, tungsten rods that are needed in the reactor's core or something. But it's one of the five most important like facilities in terms of the nuclear apparatus of America. And it's in on like the border between Georgia and South Carolina. So that's not too far.
The U.S.
Now,
government
the bomb's blast radius probably wouldn't have reached to the Savannah River site, but obviously the radiation would.
kept the near-disaster secret for decades.
Okay,
In
so that
2013,
was July 15th, right? Randomly talking about SRS, okay? As it'll be known going forward. Now, peep this. Okay, so just on July 29th, excuse us, Leia. Boom. Radioactive Wasp. Yes, but they have been removed from Savannah River site tank farm. I talked about this also on the Discord stream, but SRS, a radioactive wasp. No way, they're needing a subscriber. They didn't need this the other day. No. Okay, give me 1 second. We'll come back to this. I'm gonna pivot and work on this when a longer video is playing. But they say, well, here's the thing. So they found 4 wasp nests that were essentially like, okay, think like you have like a big facility that would store nuclear waste, I guess. And then in the like upper corner, there would have been 4 wasp nests. And this was July 3rd they found them, and they had over 10 times what like the like mandates say for what's like no bueno. And they only like it only became news in the last like week or so, week and a half. Now they say the reason that the delay happened is because they wanted to compare their findings with like measuring it with what other forestry, like other state forestry departments compare with the wasp. It didn't seem as fishy. Well, and I'll get more on it, but it was just trippy that I like randomly for the first time talked about SRS, and then it gets national news with radioactive wasps. They ensure us that nothing like the ground isn't contaminated. The water, there's no contamination residue, but and when they found the nest, wasp had already long vacated it, right? That's what they say. Now, in some sci-fi movie shit, I'm like, there are radioactive wasp out there, at least one, and he's doing the thing, and I don't. Anyways, they say none of that. On one level, it's insects, bugs. They're really like tuned in on a different plane. You know what I mean? The whole like. So the fact that they probably could have detected the radiation very early on, like something's up with our nest. They might have truly vacated it early, long before the radiation effect on the nest could actually affect them, if that makes sense. We'll come back to that though. This next one, most important tech company in the world? Question mark? Oh, we're not in our bag as quick. Sorry. Yo, what up, everybody? By the way, sorry, we're just transitioning in. Okay, hold on, let me catch up with you guys. I gotta get pop out chat. Hello. All right, we're gonna do this. Actually, more pivot.
Kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. But they did it with expert timing. Oh, yeah.
So I labeled this. Now, for those new to Newsday or that have forgotten, I try not to watch I almost like 97% of the time I don't watch the videos all the way through to have it as a raw reaction. I just kind of get enough to make sure it's like wholesome or whatever and something bad doesn't happen, yada yada. Also welcome in. I see Sativa, Ben, Nim, Katie, Clippers here. Love that. Attaboy, welcome back in. Should I miss it? Creed, ignore me. I'm ignoring a lot right now. I'm super sorry. What is the category? What are we in? That is, you're exactly right. That is what we talked about doing. We'll try that for this one. I think I'd come back around full circle. I Ouroboros myself, and I was gonna just do just chatting. A chat-based rock paper scissors game would be super fire. By the way, okay, bounty, So I don't, and I try to name the videos just something that I quickly synthesized from what little I watch. And what I called this one was When You Realize.
Everybody was kung fu
It's all one dude. The editing and timing of this is wicked. Absolutely wicked. Okay, this next one, y'all might have seen this. Oh, road buckles. The heat so hot. A road buckles in Missouri, and this poor driver just look at this. Like who do you even tell? What do you even tell the insurance? I mean, it's an act of God, so it should be covered, but like wicked. Okay, this next one is awe, but also a little sad. UPS driver gets emotional as he says goodbye to dogs he bonded with for more than a decade. All right, we're back in our bag, by the way. This is smooth transition time. I do owe Katie a 1v1, and I owe Ben a freestyle. Welcome in, everybody.
Hey, Mario.
Very sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you, man. I really do.
Thank you. I love you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, baby. That means a lot.
Okay, now back to the tech company one I wanted to show y'all. I just needed to get myself in a position where I can read it to y'all. One Dutch company controls the future of global tech. Apple, Nvidia, Intel, Samsung, they all depend on it. It makes machines so complex, only one company on Earth can build them. This is ASML, the $500 billion monopoly powering the entire tech world. ASML is a company based in the Netherlands. It's worth over $500 billion, and most people have never even heard of it. It doesn't make chips. It makes the machines that makes chips. And without them, no iPhones, no AI, no advanced tech. ASML builds something called EUV machines. They cost over $200 million each, and there's nothing else like them on Earth. EUV stands for Extreme Ultraviolet Lithography. It's a process used to print tiny patterns on silicon wafers. That's how modern microchips are made. The smaller, more complex the chip, the more powerful the device. Without EUV, we can't make advanced processors, and only ASML can do it. These machines fire lasers at molten tin 50,000 times per second. The result, a beam of extreme light that can carve patterns smaller than a virus. Building one EUV machine takes over 100,000 parts from over 800 suppliers across Europe, Asia, and the US, and assembling it takes 6 months. Only 5 companies on Earth can even operate these machines. TSMC, Intel, Samsung, SMIC, and SK Hynix. All of them rely on ASML. Apple's M4 chips made using those machines. So are Nvidia's GPUs, AMD's CPUs, and Qualcomm's 5G chips. Without ASML, the entire global chip race stalls. No faster phones, no new AI tools, no military tech upgrade ethers. That's why ASML isn't so good for so many slides, and then today, Junior. That's why ASML isn't just a company. It's a choke point and a national security asset. The U.S. has blocked ASML from selling its most advanced machines to China because whoever controls chip making controls the future. ASML started in 1984 as a small Dutch spin-off from Philips. Today, it's the most important tech company in the world. Made over $7 billion in revenue. 40 machines shipped that entire year. 40 machines, 27 billion. China, the US, the EU, they all watch it because it's the only company keeping Moore's Law alive. And if I remember, Moore's Law is it's like a rule within like I guess mathematics too, but like computing, where somebody said in like the 60s or 70s that he thinks every time like a processor makes a jump, it's gonna double. Like it will just like that will be the exponential rate for a while. I think he predicted it for the next 10 years, but then that kind of became the norm. If ASML stops, the world's tech company chain collapses. This is why it's called the most important company in the world. Pretty neat. Okay, road buckles, you did that. Egg cooking hack? Question mark?
After sharing her unorthodox method for frying eggs, saying the recipe was passed down by her Italian grandmother. The young woman greases her pan with cucumber juice.
Ooh, elite comms from Clipper. There it is. The number of transistors you can fit on a chip doubles every year. I knew it had something to do with doubling. Transistors you can fit on a chip.
Or frying the egg. She says the method helps us.
Didn't that kind of become like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, though, that like he said it for like the next decade, for example, and then as it went on, especially into like the 90s and stuff, I think a lot of them just kind of did it because like it was in the consciousness of that industry, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So they're like, they might not even tried to do too much more than that because that's where they're, you know what I mean? And it worked, and it kind of manifested itself. I wonder.
Peanut Chris, due to the lack of oil.
Yeah, so we thought, here at the morning show, we'd
Okay, so she took a cucumber, cut it, and then used it to grease the pan.
a method to the test.
Yeah.
So we have some preheated fry pans
And they
here.
are hot because they're actually crackling already.
What else?
With
Yeah,
cucumber.
put it in the LFG thing for sure.
Well, I was going to do that.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay. I thought you tossed the whole thing. I'm gonna do a different recipe. These are the world's worst legs for cooking. Can I just say?
If you catch on fire,
At this point, not reading chat well.
Oh my God! See, that was.
Y'all are
that
zooming
was
right now.
There, wasn't it?
Okay, I'm
In
gonna
the
crack
best
my
way
egg.
possible. Ribeye and potatoes. Okay. Boom.
Here we go.
And so the thinking, interesting technique, but the thinking
Did she
is
just put?
that
Hold on.
this will.
Okay, you were supposed to cut it and I guess use the oils from inside the cucumber to help create a non-stick kind of situation, and then she just put whole cucumbers in there?
Fry.
Yep.
And then it should be able to come straight out of the pan.
Yep.
PB said
Without-
I'm soft. He's
without-
not wrong.
Have you ever cooked an egg before?
Yeah, this looks good. I'm just gonna get
You gotta have a little bit better delivery, but what we are witnessing might warrant that.
the juice off the side there.
Just
But so
gonna
the
let-
thing is, first off, in fairness to her, this is not a good pan, okay? But the producers probably intentionally got a bad pan or a mediocre pan. They didn't get a great pan because the whole premise was to test how well the insides of a cucumber can, I don't know the word, make it not stick, you know? Okay? That's the premise, to see if it makes it not stick. We've all been there on different food things, but eggs is probably one of the more common where, yeah, a non-stick pan, or like growing up, I used butter being from the South, watching my grandma and stuff. Then as I got into college, I've switched and I still do olive oil. So in fairness, probably not a great pan. But what is she doing? She just raw dogged the egg onto a non-greased, non-buttered, non-sprayed, mediocre pan
You know, a lot
on
of
live television.
People are saying like Italians are disgusted because what Nonna would ever
Meanwhile,
say, not to use oil.
his face. Woo! Okay, you gotta be professional, but at the same time, man, I grew like Katie for real.
And I'm going to flip it now. Oops, daisy. Look, it's over easy, not that easy. Oh, yours looks
Over easy, not that easy. That's a bar. Okay, that's going on our epitaph.
all right. Oh dear. My juice is going everywhere.
What sort of abomination that
Her juices
that
are coming
is,
out.
and
It tastes the same.
Disturbing look
It stays the
into
same.
your world. Geez, weekend breakfast must be fun in your
Well,
house.
that's why I work on
He
weekends
is
because
savage, man. But whoa, she had a good quick response there. That's why I work on weekends.
Channel 7 gives me breakfast and I don't know what happens at home. My kids just eat cereal from a box, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, all right. So
mine's gonna
you've
take-
scrambled the eggs successfully. So I think
You
now
scrambled
should we
the egg
see if this
successfully.
Go.
comes. Oh, I mean, it's actually not bad.
In the end,
That came off cleanly. I
It
mean, the
did
egg's
work.
not entirely cooked.
Can we have a shot of who did it best?
So
Mine doesn't look bad.
that's like I don't love that either, though. You know, if I'm having a fried egg, yeah, that egg is raw.
Bad. Mine's a, yeah.
Dare I say, in the end, that might be more appetizing.
It's an Italian style egg.
you're walking into a cafe. I mean, which one do you choose? So
I mean, I'm not eating the raw. Like, what am I, Hulk Hogan recipes? Where he just cracks raw eggs into a glass and downs them.
A nice charred cucumber on.
The yolk will spill the second you poke it. You're not wrong.
I think they're made.
I love fried eggs, especially I almost gotta have it over toast. There's something about okay, I didn't love fried eggs until maybe I was probably in my mid-20s, if not older, when I really started to like them, and it's got to be over bread in some capacity, and it was a cool moment. Because keep in mind, one of my best friends and college roommates is Palestinian. So in our crib at any given time, he might have obviously hummus and baba ganoush and what's it called? Not tzatziki, that's Greek, but it starts with a T. Anyways, he would have like that, and the concept of getting bread and sapping it into seasoning or so and then having already at this point known about Indian food culture would have the naan, N-A-A-N, right? And so anyways, I'm eating a fried egg, upper 20s, and I'm like, it was just one of those cool moments where it's like, every culture has their really fire, you got to have your grain, right? You got to have your bread of some kind to soaky up something, right? Whether it's like a sauce in one country or an egg in another, but there's just something good about putting a breadish item in something and just sapping and sucking up the goods,
Maybe merit there. Anyway.
No, yeah, how do you pronounce it? Naan, right? That's what I think I first did, right? No, yeah. Okay, so egg hooking hack. I would have loved to see. I don't know who won in the end, Okay, the next one is so Greece recently introduced a new coin, their new €1 coin, and they use the same logo that ancient Greece used on one of their forms of currency 2,500 years prior, which is pretty cool. The ancient Athenian 4 drachma coin. Some might just say OVO, meet me at my next show. You know what I mean? But boom. All right, so the next one is called momming, toughest job in the world. Am I right? Can I get an am I right? And an amen, maybe? Mop the plate with the bread. What up, microdose? So toddlers really are just toddlers no matter the species. Her face at the end is so relatable, it hurts. She drags the little kid all the way over here. Yo, I appreciate the follow. What up, Gracie? Welcome in. We're doing Newsday. It's something we do every Tuesday, like some wholesome news stuff. So the mom drags the kid over here, and immediately the kid dips. She's like, I don't, whatever, Okay, next one is called Blue Ghost. The rare blue ghost of North Carolina. At least once a day. I love that. Yo, what up, Gracie? So, if you walk quietly through the woods of western North Carolina this month, you may catch a glimpse of an eerie sight. Dozens, sometimes hundreds of tiny lights floating silently along the forest floor. These are Phausis reticulata, known as blue ghost fireflies, a rare species of bioluminescent beetle that can only be found in the southern Appalachian Mountains. Their emergence and that of their flashy relatives, commonly known as the Smokies synchronous firefly, draws thousands of people to the area each year. Asheville, North Carolina is a key gateway for firefly watchers, offering access to nearby Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Pisgah National Park, DuPont, and so on and so forth. Okay. This next one, his ball now. My ball now, son. Okay. His friends are never going to believe him when he tells them he caught a homer.
Lindor. And he launches one to deep right field, and back goes Thomas for a look.
Wish
but
I was
that
a
is
ghost.
way out of here, up in the second deck. Nimmo and Lindor hit back to back home runs to start the first inning, and it's 2-0.
I mean, that one dude is literally parallel to the floor, like parallel. And yet, this dog still emerges.
New York.
Look at him. What a beast.
Well, we got
look who got the ball.
Yeah, we got a lucky mark in the park.
We got a new play toy.
I don't think he's giving that one to Bob or anybody else.
Licorice fried grits. I know I'm going way up, but Mr. 1-incher. Making sure I wouldn't serve that egg to my cat. Good comms. Rip Hulk Hogan. Soft egg on a bagel. This next one, somebody turns a wasteland into park is all I have. Let's see what it has. Sao Paolo, Brazil, maybe?
O que eu sou mesmo é plantador
de árvore. Neck crack? Bread. Pronounce it non. Yeah, I didn't call it non bread. I just said non. Like Indian food culture has non. We have like toast, or in the South, biscuits, right? Which you might have biscuits and gravy. That's another form of bread and sap and soak, right? Creed so crude. What's the dish you said begins? Tahini. Good shit, Ben. It's tahini. Thank you. He would always have hummus, baba ganoush, and like hummus we already knew about. You'd find hummus at Publix's and stuff. The baba ganoush and the tahini is what was like new to having around all the time when I lived with him in college. So fire. All right, let's get back.
Planting trees along the Chiquatira stream in one of the most populated parts of Sao
Asheville,
Paulo.
I miss it a lot. You've been to Asheville? I'm from there. Let's go, attaboy. Wait, I thought you were from Indiana. Or you're from there, you live in Indiana now? Sorry, I didn't mean to dox you. The Midwest, you live in the Midwest. Run it back.
He used seedlings of native trees from the surrounding Atlantic rainforest.
He didn't catch it, L-Dog. He didn't catch it. Imagine he just went and plucked that. You know what I mean? Like clean as hell, just yong. Okay, but given the human was like a bicep deep into the seats trying to get that ball, the fact that he still got it first, very good. Love to see it.
Numa das minhas caminhadas por aqui, eu percebi que essa região.
What up, Lux? Welcome in.
Mais degradada. Era
Okay, let me. To transform Wasteland, over 20 years, he's planted 40,000 trees from 160 different species, and his small project, Tiquatira Park, has become one of the largest. I did that more Spanish, and this is Portuguese. I wouldn't know how to do that. It's now an island of tranquility in one of the most populated regions of Sao Paulo. It's also helping the city deal with increasingly frequent heat waves. Live in VA, went to school in Asheville from 8th grade. Hell yeah. I love Asheville as well. I've hiked Max Patch. Went up there for one of my best friend's bachelor trip. We did, hiking, whitewater rafting. Asheville's gorgeous. And, I was one of those people affected by Hurricane Helene. Again, we were without power for 2 weeks, cable and internet for 3. But there are parts of western North Carolina in and around Asheville that are still devastated from it because they had gotten a lot of rain even before the hurricane. So the soils were oversaturated, which leads to then when you have something like a hurricane come, and even if it's by then even less than a category 1, the sustained rains lead to like landslides and things like that. Down by the river. Yo, can we get a little 10,000 horses, you can call it a stampede.
Okay. Trees, they were destroyed.
3, 4 meses depois que eu plantei, dia eu caminhando por aqui, eu percebi que destruíram essas bufetas. E eles me perguntaram, e agora, o que você vai fazer? Falei, agora simples, vou plantar 400.
Eventually, his initiative was
Lux, are you referring to what we're looking at right now?
supported by the city government and is one of the largest parks in Sao Paolo with around 40,000 trees. The park became a hub for the community with jogging and walking tracks and even an open-air theater.
Super fire. Lux, if you can find a link for that, I would love to show that. And for now, I'm going to move on. Minor League Baseball helps town. Minor League, and last week tonight has also done some super loud. Hello.
Floor Field, a field of dreams come true for Greenville, South Carolina.
Family friendly. There's things for everybody to do. Easy to get to.
Cheap.
Cheap, that's what I was getting to.
The stadium's home to the Greenville Drive, the high-A minor league baseball team for the Boston Red Sox, complete with a replica of Fenway Park's Green Monster. But its big pitch is community.
We were really embraced by the community, and then we began to learn all that a baseball team can do for a community.
Craig Brown, a former high-powered Manhattan advertising executive, built the stadium for $20 million in 2006. He still owns it and the team.
Floor Field has become the front porch of the community, and you know, in the South, the front porch is where the family gathers.
Ooh, that's a bar. Ooh, that's a bar.
That's very much how we operate the place.
This ballpark has had a monster impact. It draws roughly 500,000 people a year for ball games and other events. And over the last decade, the city says the team's financial impact has been nearly $300 million.
But the stadium did much more. After
Down,
a number
so
of
down.
Greenville textile factories shuttered, Floor Field, using bricks salvaged from demolished mills,
That's super fire.
jump-started a renaissance in the city's West End downtown, a blighted area that used to be seedy and scary.
There was a letter to the editor that said, you put a baseball stadium down there, only prostitutes will go to baseball games.
Sir, this is the 6 o'clock news.
Knox White,
Call them workers of the night or something.
the mayor here for 30 years, says Greenville's approach 20 years ago was unusual for the time, but savvy. The city insisted the downtown stadium be part of an ambitious mixed-use development.
This was the transformational event. Suddenly this area.
I mean, it's one of those, you see that all around the country. Obviously, you see it in the major cities when they do these giant sports complexes, right? Where they try to have, and Philadelphia is one of the early ones to do this, but it also cuts down on the footprint that humans can have in terms of our parking lot space required. But like Philadelphia, all of their major sports arenas are essentially on one corner, boom, boom. It's easy to walk to, which then creates like a little entertainment mechaplex. One thing that it's not really talked about yet, but your boy's been all on it for a bit, is the Dallas Mavericks. You know, they've had the owner, Mark Cuban. You might know him from Shark Tank and stuff like that. He's recently sold like his majority, whatever, in the team. And the company that's buying it or the people that are buying it run casinos and things like that. So there's a lot of speculation that what Dallas is going to try to do is do something similar and have the Star as best they can. I think the Mavericks and the Stars already play close together, but it's the then building up like a casino. I think the push is in Texas legislation to get gambling more legalized. And so watch that space. Dallas is another one that's trying to make one of those entertainment metroplexes. What up, Becca?
The stadium became a place for condos and some high rises and hotels, but beyond it, residential neighborhoods were transformed as well.
And without the stadium, would any of this have happened?
Not at this end of downtown. This stadium was a home run by any measure.
This stadium was a home
The
run.
mixed-use approach draws people and new businesses downtown. Old Europe Desserts serves coffee and sweets several blocks from the ballpark. Owner Bobby Doherty.
Why was the baseball stadium such a big draw?
Bodies. I sell cake. I need bodies through the door. So I knew I was kind of right in the middle of all the traffic.
Okay, wicked. Out of context, bodies. I sell cake. Bodies through the door.
And that was the sweet spot.
That's the sweet spot. Yeah.
Our team, show us
That's
your
what
hitties.
Greenville found here. A sweet spot for development that touches all the bases. For Ian
Oh, nice there. Touches all the bases. And I'm signing out. I'm Rex Newman.
I'm Mark Strassman.
Mark
in Greenville,
Strassman.
South Carolina.
Mark Strassman.
Greenville's idea is catching on. There are plans to build or renovate at least 39 major sports venues across the country, from New York to Las Vegas.
Boom. Okay, we're going to go back to the radioactive wasp because I now have the companion video. Fear not. Fear not.
First, we offer overnight boarding. Your pet will stay overnight in your sitter's home and not only be treated like part of the family.
New on WIFF News 4 today, now we've seen everything. A radioactive wasp's nest was discovered in South Carolina. According to a report from the U.S. Department of Energy, on July 3rd, crews found the nest at the Savannah River Site nuclear facility in Aiken. Officials say the hive was sprayed to kill the wasps, and later probes revealed the nest had a moderately high level of radiation at 100,000 dpm. That wasp nest is considered on-site legacy radioactive contamination, and it's not related to a loss of contamination control. Legacy radioactive contamination is lingering radioactive contamination resulting from past activities. DOE didn't list any other cause for the insect's contamination, and at this time, some good news, they don't think the surrounding area is contaminated.
That's what I'm saying. Wasp man, sign me up. So down. So down. All right. This next one, Mama Raccoon, comes in clutch.
She's not going to be able to get him up. She's going to drop him. Oh no.
Look at her go.
Wow. That is the will of a mama right there. God. She's not going to be able to get him up.
Bro said contamination like 10 times. Yeah, it's like, I wasn't that worried until I got done realizing how many times you said contamination, sir.
Drop him.
I mean, she's literally got it by the...
Oh no.
I mean, what dexterity, the strength in one leg.
Look at her go.
Look at her go, indeed.
That is the will of a mama right there.
Like, what? Okay, if you're in that situation, let's say, all right, I'm not even going to try to hate on them. They might not have been in a position. They might have suffered. They have a family history of suffering from rabies bites. Randomly. Goes back to their great-great-grandpappy in the 1860s. They just don't take chances. Not even faulting them. What would we do? What would we do? Like, do you try to go underneath and catch it in case it falls? Like those people, remember a couple months ago at Hard Rock Stadium, there was the cat dangling down. And then the people made like a t-shirt trampoline thing to catch it. But like, you do run the risk that this little baby raccoon mauls your face. Ah! You know what I mean? And then you're like, yeah, you're welcome. Is how I imagine it going. But what will we do? I also like the reaction. They're like, let's go, you go, mama. Okay, little change of pace. This next one's some crazy computer modifications. I think this was just interesting. Oh, that was wicked. It had the face hugger from the Alien franchise, which, by the way, the TV show on FX starts in a couple days, and I'm really excited about it. That one's cool. Ooh, that's trippy. Too much, arguably. I thought it was like a dollhouse at first. It kind of is. It also looks like a boutique store. All right, those were pretty cool. While we're in the realm of games, just to get these out of the way, these aren't really world news, current events, but, well, kind of, no, it's no longer available. Okay, so I was going to show y'all, there's this game called Dungeonborn, and it looks real fun, and we can play together as in the community and stuff. I'll pull that up in a minute. Gonna do a quick pivot. This is an AI data center story. You know, we're still playing catch up a bit, so this one's from June.
I was asked, why is Northern Virginia the data center hotspot for the entire world? And the reason is that in the last century, data processing companies came here because their
government
customers,
contracts,
government agencies in DC were here. So they built data processing facilities. And then as the internet developed, there was a good fiber network here. There's a really strong, reliable, and relatively cheap power grid.
Yo, what up,
so
Pop
data
Tart?
centers can hook up to electricity, which is the juice they need.
The
There's
juice.
fewer natural disasters here, knock on wood. And lots of open land. There's also been some tax break laws passed to encourage data center development around here. When people talk about the cloud, this is kind of where we are now.
This is what they're talking about. It's not in the sky, it's right here.
So hyperscalers are the big tech firms like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. Some of those types of companies want to build data center campuses that use 5 gigawatts of electricity. That's a huge amount. It's as much as entire cities like Miami or Atlanta. Right now, Virginia, where Data Center Alley is, uses about 5 gigawatts of electricity for all of its data centers. That's a lot, and enough to power about half the homes in the state. Globally, the picture is the same, just with...
Yeah, welcome in, Pop Tart. This is if this is your first Newsday, something we do every Tuesday. I show current events, wholesome news, just kind of news that's not like the, you know, the weighty shit and yada yada. I generally 97% of the time I don't watch them all the way through. I get just enough to know that it's not like ends up in like that raccoon one. I don't know if you were here for a couple where the mama raccoon saves her baby. I just make sure that the baby doesn't end up, you know, not saved. Yeah.
Way bigger numbers.
Welcome in.
There's 7,000 data centers built or in development across the world with energy consumption that's expected to top 2,900 terawatt hours annually by 2034. That's almost double what the entire country of India uses each year. A terawatt, by the way, that's 1,000 gigawatts, and a gigawatt is enough to power about 750,000 homes. So the world doesn't currently have enough electricity to meet all of that demand.
That's a wicked statement, dude.
My vision of the future.
And you know what's crazy is I had already been talking about the concept of digital hoarding on my stream for a while. That like, with you know, with all due respect, there's those Instagram posts where it's essentially it's 9 pictures and they're it's the same picture. It's just right, and it's like with all due respect, do we need 9? And then that's the case with videos and streamers with their VODs. And that's even before we get into large-scale language models like things like Grok and OpenAI and ChatGPT. We were already facing that. We could see it in certain companies starting to limit. Microsoft did it 9 years ago with like your 7-ish years ago with your Xbox Live. Like when you would make a game clip playing on your Xbox, it would kind of put it on like a feed. You would have like a profile with your highlights. They limited that years ago because of the digital footprint. That's even before the large language models.
Is mixed.
We don't have enough energy for it. Wicked.
We're at the beginning of in my view, a multi-decade, multi-century engagement with technology. It's the first time, certainly in human experience.
Yo, Pop Tart, you're playing Apex? Ding, 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 ding.
That we've had this amount of power at our fingertips and kind of things are accelerating.
Sativ
right?
Brin.
But I would hope that we don't lose our humanity in that respect and that we still want to engage with the world
How to go in business in the electricity
screen,
field.
beyond a digital experience, that, you know, the real experience is still better than a digital one.
Okay, we got the Dungeonborn video now. Hold on, I just want to show you this. I thought this was a really cool game. If anyone's going to be interested to play it, it'd be cool.
Everyone, wanted
Ignore
to tell
this.
you.
Hold on, sorry, ma'am. Boom. Oh man, I was hoping this was the one that's the like gameplay footage. Okay, well, I'll show that on another stream. Yeah, no worries. All right. Ooh. Oh yeah, this is gonna be copyrighted. A little Etta James, I think. Ella Fitzgerald, maybe. Yo, can I be this? No, I don't. I think it's like a co-op dungeon crawler kind. Well, when we're done with the official Newsday, I'm down to look that back up. But I want to stay in a kind of groove. What do you mean you just don't auto upload? Is that in regards to the digital footprint stuff and VODs? Question mark. That slide, I need to be that. So one thing we talk about on Newsdays, and I've shown examples of, and I've gone on Creed spills of, is different animals in the animal kingdom that can use tools. Okay, for a while, and this. Not to get too deep, but the whole idea that like humans were the center of the universe conceptually back when we were a geocentric, before Copernicus and Galileo and whatnot, we're like, no, we're heliocentric, right? I think part of that also was like, oh, we're the only ones who can use tools and we have this higher complexity. But as ecology has evolved and like marine science or animal sciences have, we've learned things like the capuchin monkey, which I've talked about many times, can like know to pick up rocks and use it to open shells that otherwise it couldn't bash up. Like it doesn't just bash the shell. It knows to get maybe a rock, and you can actually right. I've talked about how like there are certain dolphins who will, when catching fish, smaller fish in a pack, they'll swim quickly in like a circle. It'll kick up sand, sediment on the bottom. And it'll basically make like a sand tornado that traps the fish that they can just then swim through. Well, this another one is another new example that we, as in like humanity, are finding for the first time. This, in a stunning first, scientists discovered, this is from June 23rd, we're playing catch up, but still in the grand scheme of, human knowledge, this is brand spanking new. Scientists discover orcas using tools to groom each other. Behavioral ecologist Michael Weiss observed a behavior in orcas dubbed allokelping, a form of grooming for skin hygiene. Slay, am I right? Marking the first time cetaceans have been seen using an object as a tool to groom. The idea for allo grooming with tools is largely limited to primates, which is what makes it remarkable. A behavioral ecologist, shout out Philippa Breaks, with the nonprofit Well and Dolphin Conservation. This kind of feels like a moment in time for cetaceans because it does prove that you don't necessarily need a thumb, well, as I was talking about the humans and the opposable thumbs, to be able to manipulate a tool. Was browsing through new drone footage of the orcapods he studies in the Salish Sea. Say that a couple times. Sally sold seashores by the Salish Sea. I was so close. When he spotted one of the killer whales carrying something green in its mouth and noticed an unusual behavior. Some orcas were rubbing against each other for up to 15 minutes at a time. Hey-oh. I zoom in and sure enough, there's clear day this piece of kelp that they're using to rub on each other. Over the course of just 2 weeks in 2024, Weiss and his team documented 30 examples of these curious interactions. They found that the southern resident orcas, a distinct population of killer whales, were detaching strands of bull kelp from the seafloor to roll their bodies in. The behavior is dubbed allokelping. Could be a form of grooming for skin hygiene, as well as a socially bond. Hey, you trying to meet up and allokelp, baby girl? With other members of the pod. The researchers reported in a new paper published Monday. Hell yeah. I'm just trying to allokelp. I just want to allokelp. Baby girl, won't you help me allokelp? Okay. I showed this on stream briefly yesterday, but we're still doing it because this is really cool. It's the 25th anniversary of the International Space Station. Microtoads. Yo, hold on. Herbie, PB. So for those who are still relatively new, a couple months ago, one of the stories was about the Nashville Zoo. They had a clouded leopard pup, kitten, kitten born, right? And they were having a naming contest for it. And shout out PB and chat. They were like, it should be like Cleo. Like, and first, admittedly, I didn't even connect the clouded leopard Cleo. I was just thinking like, yeah, that kind of be fire. Like, if I imagine Cleopatra with like her own badass personal pet, it would probably be like a feline of prey kind of thing, like a big cat. Anywho, PB, I looked that up literally, I think it was about 5 days ago, and as of then, there was no update other than what we saw where they had the polling to pick the 3 names that they narrowed it down to. We weren't in love with any of the options, really. 25 years, 288 visitors, over 20 countries, 5 international partners, and 1 home. On November 2000, the Expedition 1 crew, William Shepard and Yuri Gadzinko and Sergei Krikalev, arrived at the ISS, marking them the first to occupy the orbital laboratory. 2.5 decades later, multinational crews continue to live and work aboard the ISS, contributing science and research that will benefit humanity on Earth, as well as future missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. This November will mark 25 years of continuous human presence aboard the station. That's kind of badass, right? Like, we not only built it, and it stays in orbit, and we, like, got the science down to, like, get its, you know what I mean, just, boop, and now the Earth, then the gravity does its thing. But we've continuously been aboard the bitch for 25 years, pardon my language. Okay, and then while we're in, because your boy's gotten better at teeing these things up. This next one is within the last couple months, Chile, the country, named after the pioneering astronomer who discovered evidence for the existence of dark matter, the Vera C. Rubin Observatory in Chile's Atacama Desert is set to begin full operation later this year. Scientists are already giddy with excitement over the discoveries the observatory can make thanks to the 3,200 megapixel camera. That's around the size of an SUV, and its wide field of view. Yeah, for real. That's a 6 shot. That's from inside of it with the doors open and whatnot. Ooh, wicked. Star Lab. Oh, that's gorgeous. Need it. Love that. Wow, that's fancy. Okay. Next one. Payphone Revival? Question mark?
Welcome back. Some good news about the old school technology helping making modern connections. NBC News' Hallie Jackson has the story.
At this workshop in rural Vermont, what's old is new again. A blast from the past.
Well, let me find my cell phone charger real quick.
And sounds cool. But for Patrick Schlott, it's his way of paying it forward.
It started as sort of a hobby, and it spiraled into something that is a pretty cool public service.
For the last year and a half, Patrick has been buying old payphones and fixing them up before putting them to work around town.
There are large swaths of the state without cell phone coverage. The Vermont ethos is very neighbor helping neighbor. So I figured that's the way I can contribute.
Inspired by similar efforts in cities like Philadelphia and Detroit, Patrick has installed phones at places like this general store, a rest stop, and a library. But they're not payphones, technically, since they're free to use, sort of. Patrick pays for each call out of his own pocket.
I call it a pay less phone because you don't need change.
Holly Legue is the director of the...
Okay, I heard it. She said it. She went there. It's more like a Payless phone. Get it? But you can't use that, man. There's already a company called Payless, and they do shoes.
Latham Memorial Library, home to one of the phones.
Agreed, Microdose.
These kids wouldn't have another option to give their parents a call if we weren't able to offer this phone.
In just a month, this phone made more than 200 calls by families like the Kramers.
There's a lot of times where Ian and my other kids come to the library after school before I can pick them up, and they don't have cell phones yet.
Sometimes I don't know when I'm gonna get picked up from the library, so I can just call mom or dad.
Yo, his shirt is no. His shirt goes bonkers. Hold on, we got to get this. Yep, look at it. It's a bear. First off, okay, I noticed the top half is colored. That's cool. I like the color palette, right? And then you see the mountain range within his fur. Sorry, go away.
Picked up from the library after school before I can pick them up.
Peep his shirt.
And they don't have cell phones yet.
Sometimes I don't know when I'm gonna get picked up from the library, so I can just
Need
call
that.
mom or dad.
These phones,
Not like his,
not
but
just
my own.
useful, they're turning back time.
There is just kind of a fun element. I mean, in libraries, we love to bring older technology into the hands of
So
people
fire.
who might remember it fondly or maybe have never seen it before. So it brings a lot of joy.
And Patrick's got new locations planned with the same mission. Neighbor helping neighbor.
That's the way I can contribute. Kids need to phone home. It doesn't matter why you need to use the phone, but that can be a positive benefit for the community.
I'm dumb.
I love it. And really just knowing their history and, all the big, great, latest technology, it's always, not as dependable as it needs to. Taking it back to our roots.
Dude, so dope. I love that. And it reminds me of when I was younger. Okay. Oh, nope, wrong one. This next one, Mexico's armored car industry. Question mark? Okay, here we go. I can't help but to think of the movie Man on Fire with Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning. Dude, the clank when he slid that's kind of satisfying in a way. Also makes me think of Nick Fury. All right, pretty dope. This next one, W politician moment. Representative Jim Clyburn volunteers to hold Representative Brittany Peterson's baby during press conference on gun violence. Democratic holds well, actually no. I don't know what party she's from, but I thought it was like he even went across the aisle, so to speak, but that doesn't matter. It's just a great moment. Also, not to go there, but why does America have such crappy maternity like guidelines and stuff? Like it's like you had a baby, well, we expect you back in work in 16 days, strapped and ready to go. Good luck with where you're gonna put the kid. It's like other countries, they get like a while. So great. This next one, misting your cat. Imagine the pet sitter instructions for this. Nah. Who's got a cat in here? I know Becca does. I imagine Katie does. What? That's extra, but it's so very cute. Farmersonly.com? Oh, no, dude, elite. If it's like a heart or an I love you or something like that, bro. You know, I don't remember if it was on Discord or on here on Twitch, but I was recently talking about the like, you know, like grounds crew, say at baseball stadiums, who can put wicked designs in the outfield, or like this is elite. The planning, the court, like okay, boom, space it out, make sure you don't get your E backwards. How easily that could have been a 3. That's awesome. Yeah, like that's the other thing I was thinking. It's like so long as the weed is still like usable, because that's a lot, 320 acres. Like ideally, you're making this gesture, and the wheat is still like harvestable and. But it's honest work. Surprise Frost.
Raise the expectations that I could pull this off again.
Definitely raise the bar. Well, we salute our farmers and happy anniversary, Jesse and Sarah.
I don't know how long I had. So I at one point disabled my audio in VODs again because one of the things had like music that was clearly going to be it. And I don't know how long it's been, but that most of that video was not caught. Okay, this next one is the story on biocomputing.
Imagine a world where our brain cells are grown on silicon chips. Sounds like sci-fi, right? But we're kind of on our way. Our brain cells naturally communicate with each other using electrical impulses. And researchers have found a way to grow clusters of our human brain cells and then place them on top of silicon semiconductors. They then connect this device to a computer and test what sort of tricks or tasks these living human brain cells perform.
Keyword.
Biology and synthetic hardware merge. Now, this type of deep tech is only just starting. It's called biocomputing, or perhaps organic computing, or even wetware.
Wetware, that's what we're going to go with.
All sorts of questions. What can actual brain neurons do for modern day computing? What can living human cells do that man-made hardware can't? And will we one day live in a world where some of our machines are both living and artificial? Watch our show, Primer, on Bloomberg Originals to find out more.
That's a phenomenal question. I think that's probably what they're trying to do. Okay, the next one, animals in captivity, L. Dolphin birth, W.
There. Come on, Mama.
Come on, baby. It's almost there. Oh my God.
It's further out.
You're doing so well. Keep going. Let's go. Push. Get it out. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Oh. It's coming out. It's coming out.
Yeah. And it's moving.
And probably microdose, especially, you know, going back to the AI company we were talking about earlier and Moore's Law with what Clipper said about the being able to double the amount of transistors on a chip. I imagine. Well, I don't know, because like in that regard, they're getting the chips are getting smaller because they're able to put more transistors on the chip regardless of the size, so then they can go smaller. But what I was gonna say is like maybe the like more they get, the more brain cells they can attach to it.
Yes. Baby's going to the surface.
That thing's wiggling like crazy.
Good job, Al. Good job, Al.
There you go, baby.
It's coming up with Topeka right now.
Really? That's wicked, Microdose. Aw. Alright, so this one coming up. Captivity, sad. Feeding baby manatees, happy.
Tell me, whatever job this fucking shit is, I could get this and feed baby manatees. Look how these motherfuckers gotta be fed. I might be a gangster, but I ain't never too gangster for this cute ass shit right here.
Dude, it is a potato. Look how cute.
Little baby manatee tattoo on her arm. She OG.
She got a baby manatee tattoo on her arm. She
Look
an
at
OG.
that shit. That's some cute ass shit right there. Look, I want the job. Fuck it. Bitch, I'll fight about it. Give me the job, bitch.
Dude, she's got a manatee tattoo. I didn't even notice that. He goes, she's an OG.
Tell me, whatever job this fucking shit is, I could get this and feed baby manatees. Look how these motherfuckers gotta be fed. I might be a gangster, but I ain't never too gangster for this cute.
I love that line. Okay, last one about captivity. Animal escaping captivity? W. Zoo ends search for escaped otter, says animal chose the wildlife. A Wisconsin zoo has ended its search for an otter that escaped in March, saying the animal has made the decision to be a wild otter. What are we going to do? The new zoo and adventure park in Green Bay reported that two otters, Louie and Ophelia, escaped their enclosure during a snowstorm in March. Ophelia was recaptured and returned to the zoo on April 2nd. But Louie has remained elusive. At no point during his time away has Louie been spotted repeatedly in the same yard or waterway, which is what it would have been required to set traps to bring him home. However, we received enough reports in similar areas to believe he's healthy and surviving well. Louie was born in the wild and is believed to have retained the instincts and skills needed to survive on his own. We expect that he's doing just fine out there. Dude, the Great Escape! Oh, hold on, I didn't unmute it. They have a lot of trail cams. Okay, dolphins help well. Dolphins befriend lost humpback whale. Got lost in Western Australia Bay, was guided back to deeper waters by the dolphins that live there. They're like, hey man, that way. These are our waters, bro. We like you, so we're not gonna get, but come on, go that way. Get your big ass out of here. This next one, Princess Jasmine shops at a Hot Topic. Remember, I don't watch all of these videos, so I'm really just freestyling names on what the vibe kind of essence is. Princess, I couldn't remember. It was the first princess I could think of, other than like Princess Sleeping Beauty. No, now that I say it, her name's Aurora, isn't it? Fuck. Oh well. Anyways, I don't even. Does Jasmine even see? No, yes, of course she does. I can show. She's the. She's really good. It's been working, y'all. She even requests Paramore now. I wasn't sure. The yellow reminded me of Jasmine, but so did Tiana from Princess and the Frog. I think she wears a yellow dress. Banger, timeless banger. With no bullet. Like the song of what you were saying, but Belle has a yellow dress, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Belle does. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so this next one, and again, these weren't even necessarily queued up in my little like reservoir of Newsday stories next to each other, but I try to stitch these things together. So I put this behind it, and then I called this one Disney theme ? How dare I?
The bait, take the bait, take the bait. Hey, we got one, go, 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 go.
Excuse me, real quick, you mind if I give it a shot? Why not? My nephew taught me one song on here. It's a little bit simple, but it's kind of fun. It was,
Oh, badass transition. Dude, I'm getting chills. This is sick. Okay.
What's the word? When's it my turn?
Dude, she's incredible. Also, she's wearing an owl on a shirt. Y'all remember the Greek story way back when about their new coin, the new Euro coin that echoes the old one that had an owl on it? I am the Matrix. Dude, she's incredible. That's so dope. Becca, I'm not sure if you and Katie were here earlier, but I want to just make sure y'all saw this. This one. We're pranking a bunch of people. Disney serves her a copyright lawsuit. The whole operation gets shut down. That'd be the sad truth, but okay. So Becca and Katie, did y'all see this? Just to make sure. So extra, but very cute. Someone goes, hold on, this comment. Why do I feel like this was a failed punishment attempt? And the kitty just liked it. His little bib, hers. I thought that was just a little gun. Little water gun. Okay, so this is one of those moments where I'm taking a little pride because like with the Eagles, I feel like I showed it really early and then it became national news. Well, one of the things that we've shown on here on Newsday is his Twitter or his social media handle is quote Hoodanchor yay. Okay, a couple like maybe a month or so ago, It was the video. It's a dude in a bathrobe. You'll see, but y'all might remember there was the car at like a Waffle House that was like dangling, and he's just reporting it. It was amazing. Your boy did this however long ago. Yeah. So this next one is he's now getting national news, and I love that. So we're at about an hour and 15 minutes of Newsday. Again, when everything's going right, ideally there may be 45-ish minutes because I feel like I'm taking up too much of y'all's time. But we're also playing catch up from like December when my computer died and whatnot. So I actually feel like I would have shown the hood anchor thing even earlier than your boy did. But and that's more reason why we want to get caught up. That's one of the ones we showed. Okay, his look over his glasses, his Magic City hat, elite. He gives people the news in a way, well, we can't. Be a little professional. That's awesome. Magic City on a Monday. Nightcrawler. Although I don't think he's setting stuff up like Nightcrawler did. That's a great shout. The Jake Gyllenhaal movie where he's basically a beat reporter, and then he gets them at night, and then he kind of starts like kind of setting up stories because his stories were getting like front page and whatnot. Spoiler alert, sort of. There's so much more to that movie than just that. Yo, Microdose, I'm glad you're here. So you were not here when I did the hood anchor thing months ago, but I told a quick little story back then. So, at one point he says that he has like a hotline that people can call him and basically like, hey, there's a crime, so he can kind of also go there, whatever. I don't know how legal that is or whatever, but anywho, it reminded me. And so what I said months ago when I covered this was, I was like, dude, this reminds me of when I was in college. So basically as early as like 2010, right? There was police scanner apps. You can literally on your iPhone download an app and you basically pick up the like, probably not all of their comms, but to a certain radio link. So you could hear most of the like, yeah, we got a 313 on South Central or whatever, or we got a 999 at Vertigo place. And when I was in college once, and Microdose, I think you were with me that night. You definitely would have been with me at some point that night because Dankforth, I definitely remember I was with him. And we were late night going to Grub. And then on our way back, we pulled it up. We heard something. We were like, let's just swing by there. And there was an actual like stabbing that had just happened. Like when we drive by, like I don't think they died, but like when we drove by, you could see the tape and everything, and it was like trippy. I say all that because if that was 15 years ago, he probably doesn't even need the hotline people to do it. He could do it with the police scanner app. I think it was me, Dankforth, and one of our mutual best friends. You lived with him, I lived with him. I referenced him earlier when I was talking about Palestine, when we were talking about the food, that that egg, the egg yolk and all, fried egg. It was us three, I believe. So I think after this, we'd essentially went back to yours and his apartment and all hung out. Oh, dude, sharp from the old man, dude. Imagine having friends. Y'all do gotta partner up with them. One, and savvy from the old man. I respect that. Okay, so in June, we're playing some catch up. We're also doing some more modern stuff. This is a two-parter. In June 17th, in Indonesia, Mount Lewotobi Laki erupted. And briefly, I thought maybe this was AI because of how plumage the plume was, but it's not. Clearly not, and you can look it up because I have a second story too. You don't gotta look it up. I got you. Like once I was like, this is kind of plume. As of now, there's been no immediate reports of deaths, injuries, or casualties. At least one nearby village was evacuated as precaution. Yo, that's a wicked shot of that. Holy. That looks like a Kincaid painting. Okay, so that was in June. Okay, here's the second part, and this is from literally a couple days ago. Hold on, flip the script. Okay, AP News from August 2nd, most recently updated. Indonesia's Mount Lewotobi Laki erupts again, spewing giant ash plumes mile away. Now, one of my laptop backgrounds for years back in college, sorry about my chair, was a picture of one of these. They're called, I think, dirty thunderstorms or dirty lightning storms, but essentially it's when you mix the ash and the like magma from a volcano eruption with lightning, and you get these incredible shots. The one that the volcano eruption that produced the picture that I use as my background was the one in Iceland in like 2009, 2010. If you follow soccer/football over the last 20-ish years, you might remember there was an iconic Champions League semifinal. Lionel Messi's Barcelona, best team in the world. Jose Mourinho's Inter Milan. Literal crash course in the semifinals of the Champions League. Volcano in Iceland erupts so pluminously, probably not a word, but like voluminously, but with plumes. Anyways, and it spread ash and stuff so far that essentially Europe had to shut down airport or air travel for weeks, I want to say, but to the point where Barcelona in Spain now, and it's far for them. If you live in America, you're like, oh, that's just visiting my cousin in Tallahassee. But there in Barcelona, they had to take a bus to Milan, Italy, because they couldn't fly. Ultimately, Inter Milan beat Barcelona. They go on to beat Bayern Munich, winning the champion. That was 2010, I think. No, anyways, maybe it's 2011. Around then, boom, Inter Milan beat Barcelona, and then of course Barcelona's like, it's go, they used the excuse because they had to drive, and then Inter win the Champions League final, beating Bayern. I think that was 2011. Anyway, sorry, it erupted again, and I just wanted to show this. There's really not much, but that it was an AI, even though it looked like it at first. I wasn't entirely sure. Okay, we're in the final stretch here. I appreciate everyone who's been here and hanging out. This next one, so we got a couple that involve some math a bit. This next one, math explained well. Now there's some little coarse language, not too bad. What we gonna do? The way he ends that. All right, let me go check my phone. It's on the charger. This next one is doing math. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I missed that.
Math.
Damn, I keep. I'm so bad at this. Okay, as part of my setting up these things, what I need to do is all of the ones that include music that I think is going to be DMCA, and I need to put them at the end. That way, when I undo it, I can just let it run because I did it again. All right, anyways, the audio is back enabled. We're all chilling. I'm sorry I missed this. Hold on.
Back there, can I like turn it in?
Is it still over there?
No, I've got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to you. I wasn't sure what it was. I hadn't really done it since college, but I did a little bit, and sure enough, that's what it was.
What's math?
Matter.
That's hard to do.
That's hard to do.
That's what I was saying. She did a little too.
She did a little too. That's great. I love that. I love that he loves that. That's somebody. Somebody goes, don't laugh at this. It's a serious addition. That's pretty good. Okay, Ex Inmate Story. And then we are on the final stretch.
America Strong, the special bond changing lives.
Jared Hansen and Chase Benoit, inmates at San Quentin Prison in California, waiting eagerly in the main courtyard for some very special visitors.
What's up, man? Good to see you.
An emotional reunion, bringing them back together with these 2-year-old black Labradors they helped train as service dogs to be paired with people with disabilities.
Hey, buddy.
It was their first time seeing the dogs, Wendell and Artemis, in a year. The program is...
Hey, those gorgeous coats. And Wendell and Artemis, dope name.
Run by canine companions. The inmates started working with the dogs when they were between 2 and 4 months old, teaching them about 20 skills over the course of a year. Artemis, trained by Jared, later matched with Benjamin Carter, a veterinarian from Portland, Oregon, who uses a wheelchair. He traveled to California for the reunion.
He opens doors for me, really literally and figuratively. He does push plates and holds
That's touching. That's really good. He opens doors for me both literally and figuratively.
doors, and he gives me confidence to go out and do more and try more things than I had. He just got a bat. Seeing him in action and actually serving somebody in the community, it's just, I'm a loss for words right now.
The experience transformative for Chase, Wendell's trainer, and Robert Quigley, his new owner, who is deaf.
I think they should have more them and more prisons.
Wendell! It's given me something that I think I was searching my whole life, and that was really like purpose.
Yeah, I think he wants to be there so he can be with these dogs.
Meaningful purpose. Doing something that's good, bigger than myself, and feeling like I'm part of something great.
That's awesome.
Definitely something great. Thanks so much for watching tonight. I'm Whit Johnson.
And then this Canine Org commented, thanks for sharing our story. That's great. Next one, Dad of Triplets Craftiness. Now, several months ago, I did one that was kind of, it was a dad about the same kind of age. He only had one kid with him, and it was, I think, a toddler or an infant, whatever you call the tiny ones. It was like a video of it's like two people in a car. They're parked and they're recording in front of them, and this guy is trying to set up his stroller, and he's struggling so bad. And then eventually, he's like doing it for a minute. They're like filming him. Should they have maybe offered to help earlier? Probably, but then we wouldn't have gotten this video. So he's struggling for a little while. Then an older man who's just walking around the neighborhood, getting his steps in, right? Talking like 70-ish. He starts coming, and then he notices the guy struggling with the stroller on the curbside, and ultimately they have a dad bond moment when he comes over. He's like, I'm going to try to help this young man. Old man can't figure it out either. They play around for a little longer. Now a woman comes, gets her steps in. She's coming up the curve or the turn. She sees it. Hey, ma'am, can you help? 3 seconds. I mean, stroller out. And it was just one of those cool things where it was like, those poor men would have been there for hours probably. I think this is the opposite of that.
What is that? There's like hooks. Okay.
Dude, okay.
Okay, it's like some sort of platform. But he's like,
he made that.
Put all these.
No.
Huge.
Huge.
A freaking bike.
Portable bike rack.
This is crazy. It has a holder for every kid. You got the toddler bike, the little baby bikes.
That dude is giving a good name to Kia. Kia needs to get this guy in an ad ASAP.
And a fan. Set up. Their cup holders.
Oh, dude.
I have never seen anything like that in my life. What the heck?
Bro. Dad of the year. Elite masculinity. Okay, while we're talking about craftiness, this next one, anti-porch poacher tech.
Takes anything from your porch, then they may not go to jail because it's a misdemeanor.
For real,
but
Micro
if
and
somebody
Becca.
touches a mailbox, I don't even think you got to explain to people.
Wait,
automatically.
His fit, fire. Fire. The color, this puka shell necklace. Puka shell necklaces evolve.
No, it's a federal offense.
Yo, Sativa, I'm not. You know the meme or the whatever. You had me in the first half. I think this time you didn't have me in the first half and you salvaged it in the second half. I read my stepdad be getting wood. Okay, already I'm like, what? Then my stepdad be getting wood from Lowe's, Lows. Oh, I was in for it now. Now, ultimately, Sativa's talking about Lows, the very popular and well-known hardware store, of course. Because then he continues and says, and making random shelves all the time. You had me.
Porch pirates, people who...
Yeah, I saw stepdad in wood in there, and then Lowe's, like low. So I was like, yeah.
Steal from your porch when you've worked hard to pay
I hate the necklace. I kind of fuck with it just because it seems so random.
And have delivered. Security.
They are kind of beefy though, right? Like those are some thick shells.
Annual report shows last year 58 million packages pilfered. Value
58 million pilfered.
At over $12 billion. Richard Prince II has created a mailbox he says will prevent porch pirates.
Video Smart Package Pillar.
What is that?
Video Smart Package Pillar. That's a mouthful.
That is the look of a...
So y'all see what's going on? Like it's like a decoy mailbox kind of thing that has like security trappings and stuff.
A normal mailbox that you would normally see in front of someone's home, where it looks like a brick mailbox, but inside encased is an area where the packages can be stored.
So sick.
Here's how it works.
You have a normal door that you can open, that your mail goes there, but this raises. As this raises, this raises.
Little Scooby-Doo hidden mailbox stuff.
So it frees up the space so you can drop the package right directly inside. You do have a key to it.
Claymore?
And this is stone that's on here.
With the press of a button, the mailbox's lid gracefully lifts. And
Prince created videos to show how it works that he took to the Las Vegas Consumer Electronics Show, where innovations often become reality.
No more worries about theft or misplaced deliveries.
So let me ask you, the height and the width, it meets regulations. It's okay to have this in front of you.
That's a great question.
Glad you said that. That was my main focus, was making sure the height requirements and the measurements was correct.
Prince has been working on the world's first video smart mailbox more than a decade.
That's so cheeky, dude.
Finally obtaining a patent in May.
Like, we've had smart refrigerators and smart TVs for like 20 years now. So cheeky. We got smart coffee makers and like...
Took 8 years.
What's it like trying to get where you need to be, Mr. Prince?
It ain't for the weak. It ain't for the weak.
Robert Prince II hoping it won't take that long to get to production.
He got a patent,
The mailbox that can keep porch pirates away.
You don't really see a lot of people going in actual people mailboxes. You see them going on their porches.
That's super fire. Okay, this next little section, we got a couple more, like 7 more. Next couple are dedicated to the great city of Atlanta. Atlanta. This one's kind of interesting and creepy at the same time. Has the most surveilled city in the U.S. Worldwide, only cities in China have more cameras per capita.
More surveillance cameras per person than anywhere in the U.S. Outside of China, we're the most surveilled city in the world. I'm talking tens of thousands of cameras watching everything. So, let's pause.
No, okay. They showed that and rewound it because it was like, hey, we got cameras everywhere. We can even see when you accidentally walk into a street like barricade. But did y'all see how that thing was sticking out? And like, now granted, I think he was on his phone, but that was, I mean, man.
And take a closer look. This city has
this would be the last one.
More than 60,000 public and private cameras linked up to.
Surveillance program launched in 2007 with just 17 cameras. Now today more than 60,000, including those on public transportation, in schools, and on officers.
Law enforcement. That includes body cam, public transportation, and school surveillance cameras. This city has more cameras per capita than LA and New York combined.
You know what's always a bummer? I feel like the most people at Newsday are here at the very beginning when I'm trying to get all my things ready, so I miss more chats. But if they were like for the last like 20-ish minutes, I'm like reading chats as they come in.
We had to be better than those cities at something. I just didn't know it'd be surveillance. Like it or not, we joined this surveillance race back in 2007 when the Atlanta Police Foundation launched Operation Shield. It started as just 17 cameras, with the supposed goal of increasing our city's surveillance network for public safety. Within a few years, there were cameras embedded within every corner of our city. Now, the program links thousands of cameras into one massive network that law enforcement can
I don't have based anymore? What the heck?
Monitor in real time. They even encourage homeowners and businesses to grant the APD direct access to their private cameras through the Connect Atlanta program.
Connecting your cameras to our system is a great way to help us quickly address
Remember, Atlanta's the city that also was building what they were calling Cop City.
Criminal activity.
The Atlanta Police Foundation says that these cameras have helped reduce crime by 20 to 50%.
Them running from like the drone and the entire.
Although long-term studies suggest that those numbers don't always hold up, especially when it comes to violent crime. And watchdog groups caution that this amount of surveillance leads to over-policing. But what do you think? How many cameras is too many cameras?
60,000 seems like a good number to have to start with conversation. Okay, these, like I said, we're focused on Atlanta here. Atlanta's dance trend legacy.
What's up, what's up? What's up with the bank get bounce? Shout it. What's up? What's up with the bank get bounce? Shout it.
You know, I probably should mute this, but I'm not even, whatever.
Don't start, no stop, won't be no stop.
I love that dude's stash, meanie head. Atlanta the GOAT. Show me what you've got. No one has stopped swag surfing since the day it came out. And this doesn't even... I haven't even seen Pop Lock and Drop It yet. Pretty sure that's Atlanta. Young Jocks. Dude, swag surf's so good. Dude, so fire. Yeah, well, I think, dude, where's Young Jock's little motorcycle thing? Yo, what up, Ren? I appreciate the lurk. Not from Atlanta, but I had to add Beef It Up. But you wouldn't add Pop Lock and Drop It? Again, pretty sure. Young Jock's motorcycle dance thing. Young Dro's shoulder lean. Alright, so in this Atlanta, Georgia themed little session, we have a story on the Okefenokee Swamp, and this is a massive mess.
Live at 5, a victory for environmental groups fighting to protect one of Georgia's most treasured natural landmarks, the Okefenokee Swamp. A historic land deal means a proposed mining project near the swamp is off the table. Atlanta News First reporter Abby Kasoris explains.
The Okefenokee National Wildlife Refuge in southeast Georgia is one of the most ecologically diverse and unspoiled wetlands in North America. A place
Nim,
where
you can't listen to Gunna for a week because of that comment.
nature thrives undisturbed, and time seems to stand still.
The breath of life.
Mining company sells land near Okefenokee Swamp. Environmental nonprofit buys land of proposed controversial mining site.
We first met Reverend Antoine Nixon last summer, the Folkston pastor working for years to stop a mining operation in his town. Alabama-based mining company Twin Pines Minerals, LLC, submitted a proposal to mine titanium dioxide on this land at the edge of the swamp, an area called Trail Ridge. Trail Ridge, like the edge of a bowl, holds the swamp's water. His concern, the company's plan to pump water would mess with nature's balance.
This moment to me kind of reminds me of the David and Goliath story.
On Friday, environmental
Antoine
nonprofit
Nixon,
the
a
Conservation
local
Fund
legend.
announced they purchased the land and mineral rights held by Twin Pines, paying $60 million. Nixon says people get it wrong. Goliath, not David, is the underdog. The Bible says David had God on his side.
David said that you come at me with sword and spear and shield, but I come at you in the name of the Lord. My only responsibility is to make sure I show up to the fight. David showed up to the fight. I showed up to the fight and offered all that I have. And all that I had to this fight was my faith. But it was enough.
Nixon, a figure at the state capitol, along with the attorneys from the Southern Environmental Law Center. They lobbied the state to deny the company's permit, legislation to put a stop to future projects, and passed local resolutions in support of protections for the swamp.
We are celebrating like crazy.
Attorney Bill Sapp still has his Protect the Okefenokee sign in his front yard. The purchase 600 of the 8,000 miles that make up the area of Trail Ridge. He says Trail Ridge is still vulnerable. They're still pushing state lawmakers for an outright ban on mining near the Okefenokee. We reached out to Twin Pines Minerals LLC to see why they agreed to the sale, but we did not hear back. I'm Abby Kasoris.
Why did Amazon send me $20,000?
Okay, so
because I use
that's from
Amazon
one angle.
AI.
Here's one more angle
I'm
of
going
the
to show you a
same
way
story.
to potentially
Sorry,
make
get away.
money by
Same story. So nearly $60 million historic land deal halts mine plan next to Georgia's Okefenokee Swamp. The Conservation Fund is purchasing the nearly 600-acre tract Twin Pines had planned to mine initially, along with all of the company's other land holdings in the area comprising roughly 8,000 acres. In addition to the land, the group is also acquiring the underlying mineral rights, which is fire. Land deal halts mine next to the swamp. Okay, we just demonstration. So you got the Okefenokee Swamp in southern Georgia. And off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure it's like the largest... I think it's called like a Blackwater swamp. After 6 years, a controversial bid to mine next door to its famed swamp is no more. The fund, acquiring at-risk land, announced Friday that it had purchased it. The move puts an immediate halt to a project the scientists and environmentalists had feared could irreparably damage North America's largest Blackwater swamp. It's a stunning end to a years-long fight over the mine that has been waged in courtrooms, the halls of the Georgia General Assembly, and in rural counties surrounding the vast wilderness. For environmental advocates who had pushed federal and state officials to reject the project, the agreement is likely to be seen as a monumental victory, even though other land along the swamp's edge remains open to mining exploration. The name Okefenokee has Native American roots and means the land of the trembling earth. It is a sprawling and special wonderland right in our backyard. It has provided untold riches to generations of school children who have explored it, and in protecting it for generations to come, it may now provide riches to those lucky enough to call it a neighbor. Environmental groups, boom. We read that. Decision to sell their land to a conservation buyer instead of a mining company is a respectable response to the hundreds of thousands of voices who have spoken out against the mining proposal. So shout out Twin Pines for not selling it to like the more nefarious buyer. The AGC editorial board applauded the deal, highlighting that ensures an extraordinary sanctuary will not be sacrificed to the ambitions of an Alabama mining company. Hell no to Alabama. Keen to extract mineral sands to produce an ordinary compound commonly found in toothpaste whitener and powdered donuts. Yo, welcome back in, Leafy. Boom. The Okefenokee is our Yellowstone. Our Everglades. That's a bar. Love to see that. All right, this next one. Arizona rescue.
Incredible rescue video as a woman missing for 3 days is airlifted out of an Arizona canyon. 32-year-old Janelle Banda was camping with her dad in the panoramic Coconino National Forest when she took a walk in the high and rocky terrain. She didn't return. Her dad called for help.
It's about 7,000 feet in elevation, a lot of rugged rock features.
They had been camping near a steep cliff known as the edge of the world. Rescuers immediately beginning their search.
We put a team in to specifically go back to that cliff edge for any signs that somebody may have fallen off of that. They heard a voice in the brush, and that was Janelle.
Finally, they spotted her 400 feet below the rim of the canyon, dehydrated with cuts and bruises, but amazingly alive. Janelle telling rescuers she got turned around on her walk.
She ended up falling over that cliff. She landed in some brush and was kind of immobilized.
That is wicked. How they even knew she was out there? Did I miss that?
She was treated for minor injuries and is home, recuperating with her family. All are relieved.
What a gorgeous shot. Holy. Look at that. Pop off, Grand Canyon
It's a
area.
miracle that she's here. I could not imagine my life without her.
I'm just so grateful that she's well and she's doing well and she's able to walk around little by little. So I'm just so happy and so excited.
Some stories you're lucky and some stories are a miracle. Put it all together. Steep, rocky terrain, deep canyon, 3 days. Her sister saying she never thought actually that she would see her again.
Okay, solar powered motorcycle. I think we're down to 5. This is 5. I didn't do math. Sometimes, man, you gotta see the Newsday thing, and they're stacked. This is the world's first motorcycle ride powered by solar fuel. Ow, that's loud. I mean, aura, right? You cut your finger on a microwave? How do you... You got a girlfriend that fell off a 50 cliff? Did she end up okay? It's a fuel revolution, a way to keep them moving without adding CO2 to the atmosphere, and a major leap towards truly sustainable transportation. Okay, a couple more. Music prodigy. Music prodigy Jody Kofi, the 13-year-old pianist who hears every note.
An A dominant 7.
Correct. How about this one?
A G major 7th.
Wow. Okay. What about this one?
Oh, so it's a C sharp minor. I know it's a C sharp minor.
It's the C sharp minor 7. You got it. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to play individual notes then, and you tell me what these notes are. Ready?
So it's an E flat, an A, and a D.
No way, Jude. Okay. What about this one?
Oh, so an F, an A flat, a C, and a D.
Last one, Jude. Last one. I can't believe that you can do this. I'll do it really slow.
G, B flat, E flat.
Yeah, no shot.
C sharp.
Not that I don't believe this. There's no shot I could even come close to doing this.
F sharp, and B.
Wicked. Little choke. Okay, so very sweet. Ghanaian pianist, redefining what's possible through music. Born with perfect pitch, Jude can identify music notes just by hearing them. A rare gift he discovered on his own. Diagnosed with autism and entirely self-taught, his journey has inspired thousands worldwide. Beautiful. Caught the attention of a piano tuner who gifted him a $15,000 piano after witnessing his brilliance. Dude, so dope. It also like just makes you think, like, not to get again too heavy, we're not trying to do that here Newsday, but you think about, like, not that we still have great answers and great care and stuff like that, but you know, I think about in Red Dead Redemption 2. I know it's a video game, but it's naive to think that this stuff didn't happen. But like in Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the like side things you can randomly discover in the open world is you're on your horse, you're going in this like field or whatever. First off, it's in the area called Rhodes. If you're familiar with Red Dead Redemption 2, there are two like rich white families who own plantations, and they're kind of like the Capulets and the Montagues, right? The rivaling families. And one of them, as you're in the backyard, if you're near an outhouse, you'll hear essentially like 3, 7, 9, 11, 13, 17, 2, 2, 2, 7. And if you get closer, what you ultimately find out is this rich white family had an I don't know the proper term. I don't know if it's autistic, Down syndrome. It was one of the like mental acuity diseases. And basically you find out that because this family is such of high status, they basically lock their daughter in an outhouse so it's not like seen when they're hosting guests and stuff like that, right? Because it's seen as like, you know, it's a taboo, and it's heartbreaking. And that stuff did happen, and we're still not great with dealing with it. But I go on that because, like, there's so much brilliance in the world from everywhere, from every walks of life. And to just, like, moronically shut the potential to find brilliance by just alienating certain people, certain conditions, it's I love stories like this. Yes, you do, exactly. Also agreed, Nim. I read those in backwards order, sorry, but agreed with both.
Good.
Okay. I'm going to post this link in chat because we're not gonna watch them all. If y'all want to watch some of them yourself, because we're already almost at 2 hours new today. Incredible. So because I set these things up kind of decently well, we just have a young music prodigy. Now this next one is a group called the Funketeers, baby, and they're on the other end of the age spectrum. Give it up for the Funketeers. And I don't want to hear that I could be a member of this group in any moment. No slander. Oh, look at him go. I mean, when you have a group with two dudes rocking fedoras, two fedoras in one group, it could either go terribly wrong or amazing. And I think they pull it off. Hell yeah. From Metro to Detroit. Heyo, happy feet. Dude, those shoes. The Funketeers, baby. Originally formed at Inkster High School in 1980. What a group. I love it. Oh. Terry Crews is loving it. Golden buzzer, baby. I don't know what that means, but I think it's pretty good. So this is the last ones in this last themed little section, 90s vibe. So first off, these Amtrak inspired retro inspired Amtrak ads. I think these are very cheeky.
Hey, Friday! Don't miss the first day of summer on the train. Flying? Don't be ridiculous. Little bags of pretzels? No way. Tiny windows? I don't think so. Middle seats? Get out of here.
I love this. Like a monster truck rally commercial.
Yeah. See fan favorites like Tyrannosaurus Rex, Mega Loco, and the City of New Orleans. Check out the funny cars. Over 18 inches of seat, but you'll only need the edge.
That's so good.
We'll see you at the
yeah. Over 18 inches of seat, but you only need the edge.
Station.
See you at the station. Okay, and we got one more from that Amtrak thing. Retro-inspired ads. They were killing it. Their social media admin deserves a raise.
Amtrak presents Traffic Simulator. Get angry to earn points.
Oh, this is... Dude! And it's like Cruising USA or those arcade racing games. Night Honk, plus 50.
Move!
Get out of the way!
Road rage. Unlock achievements. It's the perfect game for relaxing on the train. Traffic Simulator. Coming
Brilliant.
soon from Amtrak.
Brilliant. Has the like retro arcade racing vibe, but with the modern VR headset. It's throwing shade, kind of like their competitor in the sense of like, why be in the traffic when you can ride a train? Traffic Simulator is not a real game. We don't need to make one because you experience this every day that you choose to drive instead of taking the train for your commute.
Every day that you choose to drive instead of taking the train for your commute.
So good. That their admin needs a raise. Okay, and the final Newsday story for this glorious, extended, super juicy Newsday, because we're really pushing for catching up. Clarence, what is his name? Clarence Anderson? Clarence Armstrong.
Clarence Armstrong has a unique cat.
Yeah, he's pretty unusual. Let's go. Hey, come on.
His name's Tegri, and he's more like a dog than
This cat was before his time and would have ruled the internet.
cat.
I think he's more intelligent than a dog. He likes this.
Every day when the weather's nice, Clarence and Tegri
No.
go
The 80s cocaine fueled snowboarding goggles, sunglasses, kind of snowboarder goggles, surfer glasses look insanely brilliant. Him draped over this guy's coat, oh my god.
for a walk, and they usually end up at a fast food restaurant in Renton. Would you like that with cheese today? Clarence goes inside and gets a cup of coffee, and Tegri waits for him outside.
He'll just sit right there.
It's darling.
Nah, for real. They would have went bonkers. Not only we know that even like, you know, the shark, I think it's the right shark or the left shark of Katy Perry. She's doing the Super Bowl performance, and one of them seemed drunk, and he even became like he had his 15 minutes of fame, right? We know how these things go. Not only would they had at least 15 minutes of fame in terms of like TikTok and stuff, I think genuinely people would have gone not only from this town, but from local towns even, to go and witness the cat waiting on him.
Sometimes when it's too hot, I
was
don't
walking like a human.
Bring him over.
Tegri will wait for Clarence.
Look at that fit! Oh my god! No! We gotta make that emote somehow.
For hours.
No. I need a print screen. Why can't I print screen? Oh my gosh.
Hours. Customers are amazed.
When I first walked up the ramp, I thought it was a statue.
I would too.
He's the best. We've known him for about, what, 3 years?
Hell yeah.
Oh, he's a little sweetheart.
Love this.
Clarence says he takes Tegri everywhere. To the grocery store, bowling alley, and library. Clarence and Tegri are best.
I mean, the late 80s, early 90s poof starter jacket that this dude is wearing, not a Packers fan, but the poof starter jacket, can't hate on it. Super fly. The cat looks so good.
Tegri, you ready to go? Hey.
No! Sorry, making another screenshot for emote purposes.
You ready to go home? And this is his Christmas sweater.
Elton John would be impressed with
Tegri's
sunglass collection. And when it comes to hats, Tegri has a different hat for every occasion.
Here's his Christmas scarf that goes with it.
Dude, aura!
When he wants to swing in it, he'll push it and get it started.
All of it's combined, Katie. All of it's combined.
And just when you think you've seen it all, Clarence pulls out
Grey Poupon.
Tegri's
he's eating good tonight.
Snack food.
Now this is my cat's Grey Poupon.
Now you've seen everything.
Yeah.
Scott Rensberger, Cairo News Channel 7.
Maybe my favorite Newsday story I've ever shown. Look at him. I mean, incredible. Clarence Armstrong.
Clarence Armstrong has a unique cat.
Yeah, he's pretty unusual. Let's go. Hey, come on.
His name's Tegri, and he's more like a dog than a cat.
I think he's more...
Okay. Wow. I'm almost... I don't know where do I go from here? You know? I'm so nervous about next week's Newsday. Like, where do we go from here?
More intelligent than a dog.
I had a cute mukbang.
He likes this.
That is insane.
Every day when the weather's nice,
where do
Clarence
I go from
and
here?
Tegri go for a walk, and they usually end up at a fast food restaurant in Renton. Would you like that with cheese today? Clarence goes inside and gets a cup of coffee, and Tegri waits for him outside.
He'll just sit right.
I mean, the fact that, and I don't know, how does he eventually, like, does the cat try to get the hat and the glasses off of his face? Who knows?
There.
But that's a reality I don't want to think of.
It's darling.
In the summertime, sometimes when it's too hot, I don't bring him over.
Tegri will wait for
Also, W management. No need to do it for the spectacle when it's too hot for the lad.
Clarence for hours. Customers are amazed.
When I first walked up the ramp, I thought it was a statue.
He's the best. We've known him for about, what, 3 years? Oh, he's a little sweetheart.
Clarence says he takes Tegri everywhere. To the grocery store, bowling alley, and library. Clarence and Tegri are best friends.
Tegri, you ready to go? Hey, you ready to go home? And this is his Christmas sweater.
Elton John would be impressed with Tegri's sunglass collection. And when it comes to hats, Tegri has a different hat for every occasion.
Here's his Christmas scarf.
The line about Elton John is so good.
With it. When he wants to swing in it, he'll push it and get it started.
And just when you think you've seen it all, Clarence pulls out Tegri's favorite snack food.
Now this is my cat's Grey Poupon.
Now you've seen everything.
So good.
Scott Rensberger, Cairo.
Well done, Scott Rinsberger. All right, guys, that's Newsday for this fine Tuesday, August 5th. I hope that I put a smile, maybe a laugh, maybe a chuckle, maybe just interesting little something here and there. And we go again, because that's life, you know?
News Channel 7.
I want to be Clarence Armstrong
Clarence
more than I
Armstrong
can say.
has a
Hold on,
unique cat.
stop.
Yeah, he's pretty.
Skirt.